Kyrie Irving. As you know, Kyrie Irving, he's been under a lot of pressure the last, how long has it been? 5-6 days now?
Yeah.
5-6 days. On his Twitter, he tweeted out the movie Hebrews to Negroes. That's it. He didn't say anything. He just tweeted it out on his platform. Now, Amazon link, by the way. The movie is now #1 on Amazon. And they centered the movie as anti-Semitic and how it's destructive to people and it's harming people. And Kyrie Irving, he said at first he's not going to back down. I ain't backing down. I have to use my platform to say things that other people can't say, spreading a message of truth. And I rock with him. I said, Travis, he ain't going to back down. I think he didn't back down on the vaccine thing. I don't think he's going to back down on this. And then
what'd I tell you?
Kyrie Irving apologizes amid Twitter controversy and suspension by Brooklyn Nets over failure to disavow anti-Semitism. Now, when I first saw this apology, a lot of people were saying it's not sincere. They're like, this apology isn't sincere or whatever.
But they wanted more.
Yeah.
Money. That's what the Jews want, money.
So he said his apology. It wasn't enough, apparently. You see here the article here. This is CNN. He said, Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving apologized late Thursday for tweeting a link to a documentary criticized as anti-Semitic, saying he takes full responsibility for his decision to share the content with his nearly 5 million followers. The NBA star posted the apology on a verified Instagram account hours after the Nets announced a 5-game suspension for his later defending of his decision. To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by my post, I am deeply sorry for the cause you pain. I have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted to of emotion of being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary.
So you put up a post for a movie, and you're apologizing for what's in the movie, even though you said nothing.
Even though you said nothing at all.
That's crazy.
I had no intentions of disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the Holocaust or perpetuate any hate. I'm learning from this unfortunate event.
Who you rabbi?
And hope we can find an understanding between us. Irving was condemned last week by others among Nets owner Joe Tsai and the NBA for tweeting a link to the 2018 movie Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is based on a Ronald Dalton's book of the same and had been blasted for being anti-Semitic by civil rights groups. Before Irving shared his apology, his team posted a statement on Twitter saying they made repeated attempts to help Irving understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. The Nets say they were dismayed on Thursday when Irving refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. While meeting with media earlier Thursday, Irving was asked if he was apologizing when he said he didn't mean to cause any offense after tweeting the link to the movie. I didn't mean to cause any harm, Irving replied. I'm not the only one who made the documentary. And it's the same thing that happened with Kanye. He said something about George Floyd based off of Candace Owens' documentary, but all the backlash went to Kanye, not Candace Owens' documentary.
Yeah, she threatened to sue him.
So they're mad with the documentary, but they haven't taken it down off Amazon.
Because Jeff Bezos don't want it down.
Because it's #1 right now. He's making money off this. So, and we'll continue. Hold on. Let me show this right quick. What does Kyrie Irving see in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories? The NBA star joins a troubling club by
the frog.
Jamel Hill. Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets superstar point guard, is as skilled as deflection as he is at putting together spectacular finishes around the basket. On Saturday, after his team's 125-116 loss to the Indiana Pacers, a reporter vigorously questioned Irving about why he used his Twitter account to promote Hebrews to Negro, whatever. It's on Amazon public platform, Irving said. of his decision to post a link to the purported documentary, which was adapted from the book of the same name. Now, don't this sound exactly like CNN?
Well, they did. She's Democratic.
No, it seems like this is just it's a scripted way you got to say this. Everybody's saying the same thing in every article. They're all putting the same words together to describe it.
Is the Atlantic a black?
I guess it's geared towards black people.
Then why is she talking about
I don't know
this?
if it's black owned. I would guess it's black owned because she's on it and she tries to act like she's just super pro black.
Right.
So I would imagine it is
super pro shittings right now.
Now it's funny they put this behind a paywall. So you call him, you write an article about him, asking the question why he falls for the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, but you put it behind the paywall to make money off of it.
Profiting off the black man once again.
Oh, here you go. So, and I notice across social media, I'm seeing so many black people. I've never seen this many black people call people anti-Semitic. It's crazy.
What was the ratio
What you mean
of
ratio?
the genders that was calling people anti-Semitic?
What you mean?
Was it more black men saying it, or black women, or was it
was both. It was both.
I don't believe you.
It was both.
I don't believe you.
I ain't never seen this many Negroes call people anti-Semitic. And it's always the same people who also are telling you, just so happened, this is just a coincidence, I guess, the same people telling you to vote Democrat. The same people. Like, let me show this. Oh, and look at this. LeBron James said Kyrie Irving caused harm to a lot of people with his actions. I don't condone any hate. I saw another article where he was like, yeah, he apologized, but he caused a lot of harm. And I said, well, LeBron has a rabbi. He has a rabbi. What do you expect him to say? Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James has long been on the NBA's vocal leaders of social issues. On Friday night, he discussed the situation concerning a former teammate, Kyrie Irving, who was recently suspended for at least 5 games. Brooklyn Nets, after posting the link, we know. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate of any kind, any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. To you guys know where I stand. I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people. He has since yesterday, he apologized, but he caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate. I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. So it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you're in. If you're promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community and harm people, then I don't respect it. I don't condone it.
Negro, shut up.
Now, I remember.
Why he didn't continue going down the line? Jewish community, black community, Asian communities, Latino community. Just keep going down the line, naming every damn community.
I remember when the Chinese thing happened. When Hong Kong was going through what they were going through, and the NBA had a game over there, and LeBron and a few other players was over there, and they asked him about what was going on in Hong Kong, and he said no comment, as did all the other players. When he got back to America, for the most part, conservatives were attacking him, saying he was pro-China. He was too scared to speak against China. And I was like, and I saw black people saying, oh man, he sold out. And I said, whoa, that's the one time he didn't. China ain't got shit to do with him. That's the one time I say, this is the one time he's right. He said when he asked about the China thing, he was like, I don't care about what's going on in China. I'm worried about what's going on with America and my people. Now, I'm just saying, you can say what you say about him. Obviously, we know he's never really stood behind those comments, but at least in that moment, I didn't find a problem with what he said. I said, why would we care about what's going on in China and Hong Kong?
Well, he said Asian second, Asian community.
I know, Travis. Let me land it. But then right here, you're now standing behind the Jewish thing, and you mentioned the Asians. So, which is it? Are you worried about your people, or are you worried about all people?
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. He's clearly worried about everybody.
That's it?
That's it.
What the?
You wanted to land it, so.
Yeah, because I was trying to. Okay. All right. Now, no, look at this right here. This is the ambassador from Israel to America. This is the ambassador of Israel. The Nets are showing no tolerance for hate. We can't pick and choose when we want to stand against injustice. Kyrie hopped on the train of being anti-Semitic and was put in his place quickly. I hope he opens his eyes beyond the conspiracy theories he spreads and can educate himself. Put in his place quickly. What is his place?
At the bottom.
It sounds like you saying he was speaking above his pay, how do you say it?
Above his pay class.
Yeah. You're speaking above what you really worth. This ain't got nothing to do with you. So the comments.
Well, clearly he agreed with it.
So Marcel for Congress said, put in his place. Do y'all hear this? This is what it is all about. Letting us, Black Americans, know who is in charge. All y'all going to just accept or tolerate this? I know I sure as hell will not. It's time that America stop sending Israel $4 billion a year. America does not owe Israel anything. We saved y'all from the Nazis. That was enough. That's why they get all the money every year. ALPAC and other our 2 million members proudly support 364 pro-Israel candidates this cycle, including 44 members of the U.S. Progressives, 41 members of the CPAC, 27 members of the Black Caucus, and 25 members of the Hispanic Caucus. Being pro-Israel is good policy and good politics. Basically saying, if you pro-Israel, you got a chance to win. We might let you win.
Well, you know, we saw that, what was her name in Detroit? That's the first thing she said.
Mm-hmm. No, she
won.
It
was Michigan.
Michigan. The first thing when she beat, what's her name?
Nina Turner.
Nina Turner. The first thing she said is, he got on Twitter and said, I am pro-Israel, da-da-da-da. I said, damn. They are bragging about controlling the CBC. Keep voting for the folks they put on the silver platter. They control mainstream media and celebs who tell you to vote or die. If you don't know how much control they have, now you know. Black folks' voice isn't heard in D.C. Gotta be a Zionist. That's a fact. Guess he didn't say this. I am ominous, and I mean no disrespect to anyone's religious belief. The antisemitic label that is being pushed on me is not justified and does not reflect the reality or truth I live in every day. I embrace and want to learn from all walks of life and religions. A lie. That's Kyrie Irving. I love you just dog whistle. I love you just dog whistled that you are anti-black racist while trying to call out hate. So Rizza Islam, by the way, I think he's back on social media. Rizza Islam, I think he's back allowed on Twitter again. But listen to this. You notice that when Kyrie in the movie, Hebrews and Negroes, we know what the movie is about. No one's mentioning that. They're just saying there's anti-Semitic things in the movie. But they actually haven't talked about what the movie is about. Same with Kanye. The stuff he said in that Drink Champs interview, the one thing they ever mentioned about was when he said who the Hebrews are. They haven't put it in the article. They haven't denounced that. They haven't came out against it. They don't even mention it. They just attack.
Well, they got to be very careful how they handle the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Now look at this. Speaking of Nike, because that's why they were saying that LeBron didn't speak against China, is because Nike, they got a lot of warehouses and stuff in China. Nike suspends relationship with Kyrie Irving. Now, this all started because Kanye said these people run everything and they doing stuff to my people. And immediately he goes from being a billionaire to not. And Kyrie Irving now just lost about a couple $1 million in just a couple days. But we're supposed to say, okay, these people don't have a lot of power?
Clearly they do.
I don't get it. Which is it? Are they these people with no power and just constantly attacked and scared and, or are they people that got a lot of control over things?
It ain't a lot. They have the control.
Okay. Kyrie Irving turned a huge talent into even greater waste as he tarnished identity. Kyrie Irving really did sign up for the rare opportunity in the summer of 2019. The Knicks had dealt a currency of dysfunction and defeat with so long, leaving the market wide open for a charismatic baller to take it by the throat. So this dude is also going in on Kyrie for not going to the Knicks. Almost like he's saying you should have went to the Knicks. Oh, he's a great talent, but his personality off the court and stuff makes it not. And he should have went to the Knicks, but I'm glad he didn't come to the Knicks. Somehow that became a story. I don't know how he turned that into a story. All right, let me show this. Kyrie first proclaims, I am unique positioned to have level of influence in my community. And less than a minute later, Irving states, I am no different from any other human being. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have. Now I got to ask about Kyrie Irving. Does Kyrie Irving have a martyr complex? Does he want to be influential and respected for his opinions? So he do things, some people would say, to get attention.
I guess you could say, yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing.
That's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, the anti-vax thing, although I agree with him, he could have just not taken it. And just, the media say what they say. And, when then you got this, he randomly tweets out the link on his social media. You know what's going to happen when you do that. Now, if you're willing to stand on it, that's one thing. But if you're going to fold, then what's the point of tweeting it out?
Did the same thing Nick Cannon did.
Now, hold on. Nick Cannon's a little different because he was on a podcast and it was months old. He didn't do it he didn't tweet out a link to something on his social media to garner attention. He was just talking about it with, what's his name?
Professor Griff.
Professor Griff. He was talking to him about it, and they just so happened to have dug back into his content. And
no, what I'm saying is the stuff that he talked about with Professor Griff that he was so passionate about, he didn't stand on it in a time when that heat came to him.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on a platform with Professor Griff, it's going to get attention by Jewish people because he's been labeled as anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So we can't sit here and make excuses and say Nick Cannon didn't know that.
Well, now you got to say
when it did.
So now you're saying that he invited Professor Griff on to get attention.
I'm not necessarily saying he invited Professor Griff on to get attention. What I'm saying is him knowing that he has that history with the so-called Jewish people that it was going to bring backlash.
Okay. Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets will each donate $500,000 in the wake of Irving's controversial social media post about a book and a movie that feature anti-Semitic tropes. Irving and the Nets in the Anti-Defamation League, Eddie was ran by Zionists, a joint statement announcing the donations Wednesday night. Now think about this. He said something. All he did was tweet out a link to a documentary or movie, and they're making him pay $500,000, suspending him for 5 games, and he'll probably lose about $2 million just those alone. Who knows how much he might lose from the Nike thing? This is worse than Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon didn't pay no money back, and he never apologized to them.
Maybe Nick Cannon didn't make his money maybe Nick Cannon didn't make his payments in money. Maybe he made it in selling ass. We don't know.
We don't know what happened. The point is, publicly, this is worse. Not only did he apologize, he paying money.
Well,
he apologized, and they said it's not enough, and still suspended him after paying the money.
You said it's worse. We don't know what Nick Cannon did after.
We can't. That's the point. We can't say what he did. We just know what happened publicly, and this is worse. Kyrie look crazy right now.
Kyrie said, "I'd rather pay $5,000 out."
5,000? You mean 500?
I mean $500,000 out. Then
that look bad.
Have to do some other stuff behind the scenes.
We don't know about none of that. The point is, this look worse. This look bad, man.
Listen, if you're gonna come out and say something, stand on it. They got the tapes on you. Say release the tapes.
Release the damn tape.
Push the button, motherfucker. Push the button.
Now look at it. This is after the he tweeted it out at the next game. Now these are a bunch of Jewish kids on the sidelines with fight anti-Semitism. And I thought, what does this look like? Plantation. It's like a plantation to me. The people who really control shit watching the cattle entertain. And even, we saw what you said. First off, we can afford to sit here. That's expensive. This is Brooklyn, Barclays Center, Kyrie Irving, KD on the team. These are very expensive seats. We're going to sit here and wear these shirts.
You know what? You just look at this and you go, this is their time. But when they have to come and bow and worship at your feet, that's why you see these Hebrew Israelites groups on the streets so heated and so passionate, Because when they read the scripture and they see these things and they go, when your time come, good God.
I ain't gonna say it. I'm about to say something good. I saw this right here. I remember when Chris Rock said this last year. He said Chris Rock calls anti-vaxxers dumb Kyrie mother effers at Brooklyn show. And I saw this headline. I remember my first thought was, I know exactly who's in that crowd.
I told you what the woman, she was on the State of the Culture. Her name was Ebony.
Yeah.
She said she recently went to a Chris Rock comedy show and it was horrible. She said he was pretty much poking fun and making fun at black people. She said it was so bad. She said, I wish Will Smith was there to slap him. I was so upset when it happened. Now I know why he slapped him, even though we know that was scripted.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, God, I wish he could slap the shit out of her right now.
I remember when Kevin Hart, he was on somebody's show. I can't remember. He was asked a question about what advice have you gotten from a comedian that helped you. And he said, Chris Rock told me, don't do comedy for your local, do comedy international. As in, don't worry about doing comedy for just the people that like you. Worry about growing and expanding your audience. So basically, make sure you don't alienate white people. Chris Rock has had this trope on him. He's had this thing on him since the 90s. People are like, oh, Chris Rock does comedy for white people. Yes, he does some racial comedy and stuff and talk about certain things. Like one of the better jokes he did was when he said, I live in a great neighborhood next to Jay-Z and all these other people. And his white guys is just a dentist. He's in the same neighborhood as us. We are some of the best at our profession. And this dude, he's just a dentist. He's in the same neighborhood as us. Though I think the real commentary he was making is you don't need to be a celebrity to be wealthy. You can do other things. Or you don't need to be an entertainer, a black entertainer to be wealthy. But anyway.